Employee ledger entries. Now, this is really powerful. In the past, in order for an employee to buy something from the organization, they'd have to be set up as a customer. In order to pay an employee, let's say an expense, you'd have to set them up as a vendor. And very often, organizations would have an employee set up as both a vendor and a customer. And that was due to the fact that there was no such thing as an employee ledger entry. With the introduction of this, now the employee can act as both a customer and a vendor, where we can cut checks to, as well as sell products to, and accept the AR as well from there. There is journal support, so we can create journal entries directly for employees, again, without having them to be a vendor or a customer. And you can decide whether you want to use balancing accounts or just separate totaling accounts and journals. That's totally up to you. As of right now, there's only LYC support, local currency, but I'm sure Microsoft's going to add more to that in coming versions. Along with this, ledger entries, of course, has to come the employee posting group. So just like we have business posting groups, product posting groups, inventory posting groups, we now have employee posting groups that need to be set up, direct the transactions to the appropriate place within the chart of accounts. We, of course, define the defaults and set the defaults for each of the employees. This means we can make payments to the employee using a payment journal. We can make payments to any open employee entries, and finally correct any mistakes on applied entries. So just like a vendor, just like a customer, through the use of all those respective journals, we have the same strengths and abilities to do that here within the employee umbrella. And then finally, suggested payments, just like with any vendor. When you run suggested payments, if there's a payment that needs to go out to an employee, whether it's an expense check or anything of that nature, they will show up as needing to be paid as well within your suggested payment run, which is, again, a very cool and powerful feature. So here's what it looks like really quick. You'll find that this is nothing more than just a standard journal. You now have the account type as employee. And when you click on the account number, it brings up your employee list. So here we're finding that there's been some additions or some enhancements made to any of the journal batches and giving us the ability to now choose employee as an account type. And then, of course, choose an employee to create the journal. You'll see down here is a quick snapshot of the employee posting group, and that is a snapshot from the employee record. Just like a vendor record, just like your customer record, when you go to your employee record, there is an employee posting group, and this is where you would define it. And then, of course, you can also define an application method. So just like we do on the customer side, an application method for any open ARs, we do the same thing here on an employee. So we're covering both sides.